What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel. Now, today we are going to be bringing you the first episode in a really cool series that I am really excited to be bringing you guys, and this is going to be called Takin Them To School. Now, what this is going to be is I will have a guest on, probably a really good friend of mine, just as is the case with today, and what we will be doing is we will be building a team together live, and we will then be taking it on the ladder in the second episode. So this is going to be a really cool lesson in team building, and as well as learning the meta game and battling and that all of that stuff. Now, all of my guests that I'll be bringing on here, at least for the most part, are going to be people who may have never played competitive before, or they have a long time ago and they don't know the current meta game, or something like that. And I have several people that I have invited to do this series, but my friend Matt here has graciously said that he would be the guinea pig for this series. And so say hi, Matt.
What's going on?
Yeah, so that's Matt. And so we are going to be building a team today for the OU tier. And so before we started the recording, Matt told me that he wanted to build a team around, where is that boy? There he is, Hydreigon. He really likes this boy. Why do you like Hydreigon?
Well, I'm a big fan of the dragon type in general. I think the dragon dark typing is a really interesting type combo, and I mean 3 heads, like that's an awesome design. Who doesn't like that?
3 heads is pretty cool. Have you ever watched him eat in the Matt doesn't have Sword and Shield yet, but there is a what you can do is you can feed your Pokemon like curry in this game.
Okay.
And Hydreigon's eating animation is absolutely hilarious. So
does it eat with like all 3 of its heads?
It eats with all 3 heads. It's great.
That's amazing. I love it already.
So you need to check that out when you get the game. But
I definitely will.
But anyway, so we're gonna be using Hydreigon today. Now we could run like a choice scarf set. We could also run a nasty plot life orb set, which is a really common set nowadays. So what do you think? You want to run like scarf? We could run specs if you wanted to, or we could run life orb with nasty plot. What do you think?
I'm thinking life orb. I think that'd be a solid option. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, so he didn't have access to nasty plot before this generation, and so being able to double his special attack just immediately is insane. Because I mean, look, base 125 special attack, that's already really, really strong, and then just being able to just automatically double it, that's crazy. Plus his speed is not bad at 98, and 92 HP with 90 defenses. I mean, he's not frail either. I mean, he's just a really good mon. He really is. But so we're definitely going to want to run Draco here. We're going to want to run Flamethrower. And what else can we run on this boy? We could run U-Turn, but probably not a good option for Life Orb. That's more of a set for a choice set. We could also run Earth Power, or we could run Flash Cannon. Now, Flash Cannon would be to cover fairies, and Earth Power would be to cover like everything else. What do you think?
Yeah.
Flash Cannon, Earth Power. We also have Focus Blast, but we already have Flamethrower for Steel types.
Right. Well, we are 4 times weak to fairy, aren't we?
We are.
Probably Flash Cannon then to cover that.
Works.
I mean, if we were to stay in against a fairy.
Right. Now, one thing that's cool is that Flash Cannon actually will boost our defense if we use it in Dynamax, and Draco Meteor will actually lower their attack. So in tandem, if we're against a physical attacker, it's cheesy, but it works, We
play to win.
Hey man, you ever watched my series on the competitive decks? I always end with a meme, so that's the built-in meme of a good set right there.
There you go.
So yeah, to complement this, we also talked about a complement Pokemon, and so when you're building a team, you want to always start with a mon that you like. This is one thing that a lot of people, when they're building teams, skip over. They're just like, oh, well, this mon is really, really strong, so I want to build a team around that. I mean, that's great. That's fine. But, like, you're going to have so much more fun if you're using a mon that you actually like, and then you use other Pokemon that are good in order to complement it. And so we talked about a really nice complement would be Aegislash. And basically Aegislash covers every weakness of Hydreigon really, really well. And so I really think that this is a really good partner. And we also want to run the weakness policy set. Now, before we started this, you asked me what weakness policy did. And so what weakness policy does is if you get hit with a super effective move, it raises both your attack and special attack by 2 stages. Essentially, it's a nasty plot boost. But for both. But for both attack and special attack. Yeah, so it's super good. But you have to be able to take a hit, right?
Right.
And the way Aegislash works is really, really interesting. So he has his shield form, which you see right here. And in this form, he has this current stat spread: 60 HP, 140 defense, 140 special defense, and then 50 attack. So his attacks are really low. However, when he uses an attacking move, he switches forms into his sword form, and his defense and attack switch, and his special attack and special defense switch. And so he becomes insanely strong offensively and really frail defensively. But this mon got like insta-banned when it was first introduced, and it hasn't,
I'd imagine.
And it hasn't been legal since like X and Y, I think, because it was introduced in X and Y, and then it got banned, and then it got banned in Sun and Moon because it's insane. And so it's back for now, but it'll probably get banned again. Let's be real.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things in the OU game right now that I think should be banned, but that's neither here or there. I'll probably make a video about that once the Dynamax ban is finalized, whether or not that gets banned. I think it will. I think it should be. But so on this, I think our best set is just going to be the basic King Shield set. And then we're going to want to run Shadow Ball. We're going to want Shadow Sneak for the priority. And we could run... he has a couple of other options that are good, but I think Close Combat is probably our best bet. Now, usually you can trust these EV spreads, but this EV spread is not what we want at all. What we're going to want is a Quiet Nature, and we're going to put 4 in attack. So this is actually the exact set that you guys saw on my on Wi-Fi Battle 3. And just in honor of that, of Wi-Fi Battle 3, we're going to make him shiny. Because I do have the legit shiny Aegislash. Funny story about that Aegislash. So I was trying to get Aegislash, obviously. I'm just hatching eggs. And I get my perfect one that I want. And I have like 3 eggs left over. And I'm like, well, I just don't want these eggs sitting around in my box. And so I hatch. I'm just hatching them to get them out of my way so I can release them. And the second one of those 3 eggs was this shiny.
What?
I was like, I almost just put that in my box and never touched it again.
Yeah.
So
I
would have been so mad. Like, you know, you think like a long time down the road, I'd have been like, man, I need to clear out these eggs. And I start hatching them, and then this one's shiny because it would have already been determined.
Yeah.
It's determined when the egg is made. And so, like, I hatch it, and it's shiny, and I would be kicking myself for having this in there for, like, a year. So,
right.
I'm glad.
Sitting there gathering dust.
Yeah, I'm glad I checked.
Yeah.
All right, so after this, we haven't really discussed it much. But I did talk to you a little bit about what your play style should be. And at least for a beginner, right, we should probably go with a balanced team rather than something hyper offense. Hyper offense is a little more aggressive of a play style, and you've just got to be like really confident in your plays, I guess. And I even doubt myself a lot. I'm more of a balanced player. I have been playing a lot more hyper offense in this meta just because it's literally the best way to play right now. But you know, it's all good. It's all good. And we did mention Appleton being a possible option, but we never finalized it. We also had things like Toxapex being a decent wall. We had Mandibuzz as a decent wall. Corviknight possibly. We're just looking for a good wall for the team. And I was just wondering what you were thinking for that.
I'm actually really interested in Appleton. Like, I don't know a lot about any of the new Gen 8 mons, but he seems really cool. Grass Dragon's a really interesting combo. So.
Grass Dragon is a really interesting combination. Now, he does have a 4 times weakness to ice. However, he gets access to Thick Fat, which is a really cool ability. It was really good on Mega Venusaur, and basically it just takes the damage that you would take from fire and ice and cuts them in half. So he would only have a 2 times weakness to ice. And fire, he would then just straight resist it. Now, he also can pull Berry Shenanigans with Ripen and Gluttony, so both of these are actually good abilities, and he gets access to Recycle, which is a really strong move for this, which just means after you eat your berry, you get it back, and then you can eat it again, as many times as you want.
Wow.
And so it's like, so he can sit here for forever and just be disgusting. But I think for this, now we could run Berry Shenanigans. Berry Shenanigans are always good. Ripen doubles the effect of berries, and then Gluttony just makes it to where you can eat berries earlier. And then this just gives you a just a buff on what types you could take attacks from.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Berry Shenanigans or Thick Fat? What do you think? This is your team.
Yeah, I'm thinking Thick Fat just because of that 4 times ice weakness.
It does.
So that would.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Yeah. So we're gonna run leftovers. We're not gonna run a berry since we're not using either of those abilities. And so we could run. Now we could run a really gross set here. There is a really gross set that I've thought of here for this, and it's this.
Oh.
So this set's kind of gross.
Wow.
So you've got Protect, you've got Leech Seed. So something switches in, you Leech Seed it, you then Protect, and you're healing leftovers and Leech Seed. You can Giga Drain, and you can recover. You just kill them slowly and just never die.
That's the most annoying thing I've ever seen.
So this is a really annoying set, but we're gonna do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're gonna do it. It's fine. So this is gonna be our special wall. We could also make it our physical wall, but I think it's probably better as a special wall. It's not gonna take it'll take hits better from like things like Dragapult and stuff, special Dragapult, but it's not gonna take a like Icicle Crash from a banded Galarian Darmanitan. Even with Thick Fat, we're still probably gonna die, even if we were max defense. So we're not really meant to take that. But so we were talking about physical walls, and we've got options such as Ferrothorn, because we need something to help us wall Galarian Darmanitan. We also have Seismitoad, which is an option. We also have Toxapex, which is a good physical wall. We have a few down here as well, but were any of those striking your fancy?
I really like Seismitoad. I just finished playing Black, and Seismitoad is really cool.
Yeah, Seismitoad's a cool boy, and now he's been used in this gen a lot more for Swift Swim. He's been on a lot of rain teams, and a lot of that is to help counter the prevalence of sand teams. It's basically just anti-meta.
Okay.
Yeah, sand teams are everywhere right now, especially because Excadrill is so strong. So, but we're gonna run Water Absorb on a bulky set, just because that gives us an immunity. Now we could run something like AV, but I don't think we're gonna do that. We're gonna run a leftover set. And let's see what we can run on this. We're definitely gonna want to run Scald and Stealth Rocks. Those are pretty straightforward. Scald would help us burn physical attackers, and us being a physical wall, that'll really help us. Stealth Rock is Stealth Rock, best move in the game, obviously. Now, Toxic is good for any kind of wall that wants to come in on us. That'll really help us be able to... Oh, what happened to my Stealth Rocks? Give them back. All right, so... Yeah, so Toxic will help us if we're facing a bulkier Mon on the other team that may want to switch in on us, thinking it's more of an offensive set. And then for our last move... We could probably just run Earth Power, honestly. That's probably our best bet. As we keep losing our moves, give me Toxic back. Thank you. All right, and physically defensive. Perfect. All right. Yeah, that base 105 HP is really nice. And 75 defense. 75 defense by itself isn't great, but paired with base 105 HP is still pretty good. So I think we're going to be just fine with that. All right. So now we need to pick something to help us deal with Dragapult a little bit better, because I think we're a little weak to Dragapult. Now, a lot of Dragapults are choiced, and so like if we're on a Hydreigon, we could switch into Aegislash if he's going to go for a Dragon type move, or switch into Hydreigon if he's going for a Ghost move, you know, whatever like that. But I still think it'd be nice to have a Scarfer on this team. Now we could also run something like Swords Dance Mimikyu, which wouldn't be bad. You could just sit there and Swords Dance up right in their face. And you also have things like Excadrill, which are really strong. Let's see. We also have the UU tier down here, which just because it's in a lower tier doesn't mean that it's garbage. Chandelure is a good Scarfer. Trying to think. Are any of those sounding good? Or and Rotom as well. Rotom's a good Scarfer as well. Are any of those sounding good to you?
Let's go with Chandelure. I used the Chandelure on my black team, so I'm kind of partial to Chandelure right now.
The black and white team coming through here on
right.
our decisions. So Flashfire gives us another immunity, which is cool. So we have a water immunity here, we have a fire immunity here, and we have a grass, water, fire core, which is pretty cool. So with this, we are running a Choice Scarf right there. And so we're going to want to run, let's see, what do we want to run? We're definitely going to want Shadow Ball, obviously.
Of course.
Let's run Trick, just in case a wall wants to come in on us. Let's run Flamethrower. And for our last move, I think Energy Ball might be nice. Because that would help us against opposing Seismitoads. It would help us against Gastrodon. That's really prevalent. Quagsire is really prevalent right now. We just have a lot of prominent water ground types right now. And this helps us just hit like water types in general that would want to switch in on this. So yeah, I think this is good. So lastly, I think it'd be nice to have some hazard removal. We're not super weak to hazards, honestly. So it's not. I don't think it's like necessary to have hazard removal, but it is nice. Now let's see. We have Corviknight, which is another new boy who is a really prominent defogger right now. Who else is a really prominent defogger? Mandibuzz is a defogger. Excadrill is a spinner. What are you thinking?
Let's go with Corviknight.
Let's go with
some more new mod. Yeah.
You know what? Let's try out Gigantamax Corviknight. You know what? Just for the giggles of using a Gigantamax mod before it gets banned. Big rip to all of those boys that are going to get banned. But so let's go ahead and run a defog set on this. And actually, we're going to run Tailwind on this, which is going to be really cool. We'll run Roost, and then last move we'll just run Brave Bird. Physically defensive. And so, yeah, that seems like a decent set. We probably won't be Dynamaxing with this mon. There's not really a reason to. We would probably, if we're going to Dynamax with anything, it'll probably be Hydreigon or Chandelure. But you never know. But anyway, what do you think of this team?
It looks pretty good to me.
You like it?
I like it.
All right. You got any nickname ideas, or are we just going to leave them vanilla?
I like naming bird Pokemon Valkyrie.
Valkyrie?
I think it's cool. Yeah.
How do you even spell that?
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie it is.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And let's name Chandelure Spooky Boy.
Spooky Boy.
Yeah.
And this is the correct spelling of boy, just so you know.
Correct. Yes. Yes. That is proper.
That is the proper way. Anything else? You good with that?
It looks good to me.
All right, awesome. So that is going to be it for our team building episode. This seems like a decent team. It's not crazy. It's not anything insane, but I think we've got some really cool mons on this team. And so in the next episode, we are going to take it on the ladder for a little spin for 2, 3, 4 battles, and just see how we do and learn a little bit about competitive together. So hope you guys are looking forward to that, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.